Howdy folks, my name is Eric. Today is Tuesday, March 18th, 2025, and it is 1500 hours Eastern Standard Time. This is a live stream on owncast.eom.dev, and today is going to be a little bit different from the usual streams because what you see before you are my YouTube statistics. So today we are going to do a little reflection of the things I have been doing over the past few months, Q1 2025, and I also want to put that into context with the things I had done in the past on this YouTube channel to try and tie things together a little bit. We'll see how that goes. So what we are looking at here are the lifetime views of my YouTube channel. We can see down here at the very bottom, it will show us when I have uploaded specific videos, and then this little line chart shows us the views. And what we can see is that there are a lot of gaps in my resume. Shame on me. I'm here to explain these gaps. At the very beginning, I started uploading January 11th, 2021, so it's kind of in the middle of the pandemic. I had a lot of time to film and edit tutorials on specific focused things. So here we have a bunch of Python tutorials for beginners, intermediate, C++ tutorials, etc. Towards the bottom of this, I start doing C tutorials, more C tutorials here, even more C tutorials. But then we start in with the gaps, and it's right around here. Whoops, excuse the scroll. Right around here, we can get the actual date. May 29th, 2021. Shortly thereafter, I moved back to my hometown and started a full-time job, and so I had far less time to make and upload videos. So I tried to do a few things here with some CNC routers and 3D printers that I was messing with. Tried to do a few other things in between, but really never had the time to dedicate to it, or the energy for that matter. So I took quite a hiatus from the channel, and in that time, it did quite well. So without me, the channel seems to do fine. Maintained a pretty consistent number of views. I mean, this is pretty searchable content that is kind of always useful, I suppose, so I can see why that would be the case. Same thing with subscribers. Not much of a trend going on here other than it maintaining at a low rate. But still, kind of steady growth over time. It's doing pretty well. I'm pretty pleased with this. 9,350 subscribers overall. That's pretty great. But as of Q1 2025, or January 26, 2025, I have begun uploading again on a more frequent or more regular basis. So I am hosting a live stream on owncast.eom.dev, which is what I am doing right this second. And I film the video on Saturday, and I upload it to YouTube to be released the next day. And I have done that every Saturday for the past 8 weeks. Let's take a look at what that's not the button I wanted to press. Let's take a look at some of the things that I have been uploading. So I want to make this a little smaller so that we can see the full thing. Anyway, so like I mentioned before, previously I was doing focused, edited content on specific topics for the most part. I was working on my own projects and kind of gleaming the lessons out of that to do these videos. But these were intended for YouTube, so I put a lot of effort into making a good thumbnail and designing it to be on YouTube. Whereas more recently, these live streams are not necessarily designed for YouTube. There are multiple topics in each one of these live streams. For the most part, they're a little bit sloppy. I will confess. I do not edit them, so need to do some work on that, but that's okay. Largely, I have just been trying to get into the habit of doing this and also to show off what I have been building. So these are more focused on the bigger project that I'm working on, and they're less of specific tutorials on how to do each of these individual things. I do try to go into the weeds with these to show everything you would need, and also Gitea.eom.dev, which I should make much bigger. If you've seen any of those streams, I've mentioned this site a lot. The source code for all of what's in there is available here, so you should be able to find what you need from this. It's just that these are not intended to be a comprehensive lesson on the title, which is not necessarily great for building a YouTube channel. But as I've mentioned, I'm not necessarily building a YouTube channel. I have a few other services of my own. Discourse is where I host at the moment it's just me posting, but I will, for each of these live streams, I upload the resulting video to MinIO, another service of mine, and then I link it into one of these posts. The idea being that any subsequent discussion can be held here. You, the viewer, are welcome to log in here using a Google account. You can just sign in with Google. That should be working. We can look at some of the statistics here. I'm the only one posting there at the moment. That's totally okay. And if we look at some of the anonymous users, there are ostensibly people logging in and looking at it, so that's kind of cool. So some amount of growth here, I suppose. I guess we would really want to look at the quarter if we're doing a quarterly analysis, but having looked at this myself a bit, it's a little bit weird. I don't know why there would be so many people like immediately after I posted it. I think these first three are not necessarily relevant, but if I look starting in February, which is, February 17th, that is, kind of see some steady growth from there. It hasn't added anything to this. But anyway, not really the point. We're not talking about the growth just yet. Basically, I have been posting my live streams, the subsequent recordings here to host a subsequent discussion, and the source code goes here. So I am not necessarily trying to build a YouTube channel, but I do care about the YouTube channel. So today we're just looking at some of the statistics. We already looked at the lifetime views, but let's look at 2025 so far. Unfortunately, there's not a tremendous trend in any of this. If we look at going back, excuse me, for 2024, we can see that I have these like large spikes in subscribers and like spikes in views, and I wasn't doing anything on my YouTube channel at this point or any of these points. So all of this data has kind of nothing to do with what I am doing at the moment, which can be a bit confusing. But if we look at this, there's not really even a trend within the data for me to determine how well things are doing. All I can say, though, is that I am aware that my previous content was tailored a lot more for YouTube, and my current content is, at least by that metric, a little bit sloppier. That's okay. I'm going to be doing things to improve this over time. So if you caught the last video or two, you probably know where I'm going with this, but I'm planning to use some AI models to at least help me with descriptions and things. So I could probably set up a pipeline so that when I upload a video to my MinIO server, some webhook is triggered that will download the video, take out the audio, create a transcript, use that transcript to generate a search engine optimized description. Also, the thumbnails. On the previous video, I did a test of the thumbnails, which is kind of cool. The results of that are not fully in, but what I can see is that this thumbnail, actually this one, yeah, this data is not fully in yet, so we probably shouldn't be gleaming any results from this. Point being, there are things on my channel I can do to improve. By and large, I am pretty happy with what I have done over the past few months here. We can see I deployed this Gitea server, which is where I'm hosting most of the code for this platform, around early December, and I've been working on it steadily ever since. We've done several projects in this. Aside from just the services that I'm hosting themselves, I've also been doing things to try and connect my platform to the Fediverse. We've been looking at the Kraken API to set up a algorithmic trading bot. Also talking about how that is used within a Kubernetes cluster. I should also mention that, this video is especially all over the place, but if we go all the way back to the lifetime data, during this time where I was not uploading is a lot of it was me designing the platform that we are now working on. So especially in here, I was doing a few different iterations of it. I actually had originally started with using Arch Linux systems, and I was using Git repositories to manage deploying virtual machines and containers, and it was not a terrible idea in principle, but in practice just untenable to work with. So I switched over to Debian and Kubernetes and got things working. I had to do several versions, taking things down, putting them back up, until finally I had the Gitea version that we see here around December 3rd, where I was able to start publishing code and keeping this alive. And then around, if we go to here, January 26th is when I started hosting the Owncast streams. Let's go back to the additionally, so for these first two streams, I did not have any sort of schedule set up for them. I just kind of turned on my camera one random day and started streaming to my own Owncast server. That doesn't get a lot of views, in case you're wondering. It's pretty much all of my views come from YouTube, so that's why I'm focusing mainly on this. That's fine. All in time. But anyway, where was I going with that? Yes, so I didn't have any schedule or anything published for this, but I did create one, and I think I gotta make this on February. No, this is March. So I started doing my live streams. The first one was uploaded on the 26th, but I always I was streaming on Saturdays, have been streaming on Saturdays. So the first stream was on the 25th. I did not have any calendar event for that. Same thing with the first. But then after that, I started publishing these calendar events. This calendar is hosted on Nextcloud, which is only available to myself and those to whom I have given accounts. But you can view the public link for this calendar on owncast.eom.dev. So if you want to see the schedule for the streams, they also publish notifications when they're about to go live. So we can see that starting on the 8th. Actually, you can't see that at all because my head is in the way. Silly me. Let's just go to the next month. There you can see it. And it's probably extremely small, especially if you're on a cell phone. You almost certainly cannot read what I'm looking at here. But basically, I have a calendar where I say that I am doing a live stream. I have not added a lot of detail into these yet, but that is actually changing. So I think even for this one, the Q1 reflection, do I have more details? No, not on this one, but on the one for Saturday, I do. I'm starting to add notes so that we'll know what I'm talking about. Basically, the point of this video is just to show that I have set up a basic routine of doing these videos. I'm pretty pleased with the views that I've gotten on it. I mean, compared to some of my older ones, which are getting a lot of views, having had plenty of time to marinate in the YouTube algorithm and rack up searches. These are not tremendous numbers, but that's not really important. I'm more than satisfied with the results that I'm getting here, especially with the likes, comments I especially like to get, and would especially like to get on this video. So if you have thoughts on how my recent content compares to my older content, if you like the older stuff a lot better, or if you find this a little bit more engaging, I would love to hear about that. Please do let me know in comments for this video, or if you feel so bold, you can go over to Discourse and you may log in with Google, and I will have posted it there as well. So feel free to do that. But yeah, I am pleased with these results. I am planning to continue doing more of the same thing. I want to make what I have been doing better in a few ways, and I want to start doing more things as well. But that is not for today's stream. If we look, oh boy, Nextcloud. Saturday, March 22nd at 4 p.m., I have scheduled another stream. This is going to be the Q2 of 2025 planning session. In this, I have a few ideas of what I want to do over the next few months on this channel, improvements I want to make, and I'm going to take a few days here to think about this as well, and also open the floor for comments. So please let me know what you think of the content that I have been releasing over the past few weeks, and we'll see how I can make it better. And I guess that will do it for today. Thank you very much for your time, and thank you very much for watching. I will see you next time. Toodaloo.